Today we're making some apple ham pies like the ones that you used to bring back from McDonald's. All you need is a pot, a cutting board, some measuring tools, and a baking sheet. Don't forget to like and subscribe to support more videos like this. And with that, let's get started. First, we're going to make the pie crust. You're going to need 1 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, half a teaspoon of salt. Now give this a good pulse in your food processor or blender. Next, take 1 stick of butter and chop it up into tiny cubes. You want your butter to be cold, and once it's in cubes, you're going to put it into the food processor with your flour. Let this pulse for several seconds. You want it to be the consistency of wet sand. Now grab some ice cold water, and you're going to take about 2 to 4 tablespoons and mix that into your flour mixture. Once the dough starts to stick together, that's when I like to go in with my hands. You want the dough to be almost a Play-Doh-like consistency, but a little bit firmer. When your dough's ready, break it into 2 smaller chunks. Roll that into a ball, and then flatten it out into a disc shape. Cover that with some plastic wrap, and then place it in the fridge while you prep the rest of your ingredients. Now grab 1 large apple. I like to use Honeycrisp because it's sweet and it holds its shape. Next, dice up your apple into little squares. Optional, but I like to squeeze some lemon juice on top of my apples because it helps to keep them from browning and it adds a nice zesty flavor. Add 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of butter, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon of allspice. Turn your stove on medium-high heat. Mix your ingredients really well. You want everything to melt down and create a nice, thick, caramelized filling. Preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 190 degrees Celsius. Take your pie crust out of the fridge and start to roll it out. Roll it nice and thin, but not so thin that it's see-through. Now cut your individual pie pieces. You want your pieces to be long so that you can fold them in half. Now grab your pie filling and put a little bit into each half of your pie crust. Now fold 1/2 of the pie crust over itself. Now mix up 1 egg for your egg wash. The egg wash is almost like a glue, and it helps to get your pie crust nice and browned and crispy. Put some egg wash on the edges of your pie crust and then fold it over into itself. You can probably tell that my second pie is a little bit overfilled. I would recommend not doing that. Now you're going to crimp the edges of your pie crust down with a fork, or you can also use a crimping tool. Next, brush your pies over with some egg wash. And now you're going to repeat with your second crust. This is an important step. You want to poke little holes into your pie crust so they don't explode in the oven. Next, bake your pies for 28 to 32 minutes depending on the type of oven you have. Remove your pies and allow them to cool before cutting into it. Time to dig in.